How to build your own style. Every artist wants to have their own style so that when they submit their work to an art gallery, or when they apply to an art school, or maybe if they want to be known with a specific artistic style, then they have to think about what style is best for them. And in this video, you will have some tips on how you can choose the best style for yourself if you haven't found it so far. So I want you to do this with me. I will ask some questions and I would love you to answer. If you want to pause the video, do so and then think about the answer and maybe write it down. Then you can hit the play button again and continue to answer the other questions. After these 10 questions, you will have a clear idea about what you want to do in terms of your art style. The first question is, what keeps you up at night? What do you care about in this world and what you want to change or what you want to have impact on? If you think about this, this might help you to figure out your art style. Sometimes we don't want to give a message necessarily, or if we don't want to, let's say, save the world with our art, but then you can still want to do one more very effective thing, waking up an emotion in someone else. For example, with your abstract piece, you might evoke some emotion. It can be happiness, it can be horror, it can be peace. There's so many emotions that you can make other people feel. And this will also help you determine which art style is the best for you. For example, if you're doing dark art, then you might want other people feel that fear or the uneasiness feeling, so that's your purpose, that's your style. That might help you to figure out what you want to do, what kind of topics you want to cover, what kind of art style you want to have. Number 2, why do you do this work? Why do you do what you do? What is your purpose? I mean, of course, some people say, I paint for money. I need to eat. That's true, but money is not your purpose. Money is a tool to get to your purpose. Let me give you an example. Let's say this month you painted a lot and you did some marketing too, but none of your art pieces were sold. Would you quit painting? Would you quit art completely? No, you would continue painting. Yes, of course you would be hurt, but this would not stop you from painting. And this exactly shows that you're not doing this for money. What's your reason to keep going? If you find this reason, this will also shape your art style. Stop this video now and think about it. Number 3, what makes you happy? I mean, when you're painting, for example, a landscape, are you happier than when you're painting a portrait? Or are you happier with an abstract? I think while creating your piece, it's important to be mindful about what you really like, what you really enjoy, and what you're not. If you're in the flow, realize how the time went by, then that means you are so happy with whatever that art piece you're dealing with. If you lose the concept of time while you're working on your art piece, that means you're really happy. Think about it. When do you feel the happiest? The next one is, how would you picture your customer profile? Of course, you're not going to paint according to your customer or what your customer wants only, but it is important. Let's say your art is like your child, right? You wouldn't want your child to go to someone's house who you don't trust or who you don't really respect. Your art piece is also like your child. If your art piece is going to a home, you want it to be safe and your art piece will be respected there. How old are they? What job do they do? And in what room you want your art piece to be in? These people, what are their hobbies? What are their political views? What are their, let's say, religion? Even you might think about these things, and figuring out your customer profile and where you want your art to go is important in terms of shaping your style. Next question. What kind of paint or what kind of pencils are making you happy? Because sometimes acrylic is best for an artist, whereas sometimes some artists like oil painting. It depends on how you feel comfortable with that medium and how much fun you're having with that medium. So you have to decide on one medium. That's important because as artists, we love to play with all kinds of mediums at the same time. But if we want to get expertise on one, we need to focus. What's yours? Pick one. Next question is about mediums again. Dealing with what kind of mediums don't make you feel bored or stressed, and what kind of mediums make you feel like you are free to make mistakes, or you have the confidence that if you make a mistake or if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be, it's okay. You can turn it around. Which medium is doing this for you? Also, one more question in terms of economically, which one you can afford right now. I mean, let's be honest, art supplies are expensive and not everybody can afford what they want to. Next, which other supplies, together with the paint or pencils, would explain you better or express you better, let's say. For example, sometimes we mix other mediums with acrylic. Even we add sometimes paper or fabric in order to give that 3D feeling, as if we are building a sculpture actually. Do you like this kind of work? Do you think that would express what you want to tell to the world? If your answer is yes, then maybe acrylic and these kind of other materials are the best for you. In the beginning, I asked you which mediums would make you happy, but this question is different. Which medium would express your opinion or your feelings the best way? Think about this. 3 more questions left. Here is the next question. What art movement is your favorite? Which one would be closest to your style? For example, Renaissance, Surrealism, Cubism, Expressionism, Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, Baroque. Which one would be closest to you? Which one you feel closest to? Because then you can ask yourself, why do I like this movement so much? What makes them special? And what if I can apply this thing that I like in this movement onto my art? Would that work? For example, maybe in Impressionism, you like those strokes of the brush. Or maybe in Renaissance, you like how the light was used in realism. Or maybe you like that brown tones of Baroque so that you can apply them in your own style. Next one is the color palette. Which colors would express again your opinion or your feelings the best way? How do you want people to notice you or your art in terms of colors? You can pick 3 or 4 colors that you can repeat in every art piece of yours, and maybe you can add different colors to them too, but these 3 or 4 colors will be fixed. Let me give you an example. When I say Van Gogh, you know that there is dark blue, yellow, and red tone. Or when I say Vermeer, you can see that he uses yellow and ultramarine blue all the time in almost every painting. Think about it. Which colors would express your art the best way? And finally, picking a subject which would kind of define your art style. I mean, maybe this might be the last step. After we answer all these questions, maybe we can look into this because it's not completely necessary. But there are so many artists who use these objects or subjects as their signature. For example, melting clocks in Salvador Dali's art. Or, for example, in most of his paintings, you can see Johannes Vermeer is painting maps. And most of the subjects in his paintings are women. Not only women, but women who reads or writes or plays an instrument. So when you see, for example, Johannes Vermeer's color palette together with, let's say, a woman reading or writing, you can right away say that, oh, this is a Vermeer piece. I hope you found this video helpful, guys. If you had your style figured out, then the next step could be how to sell your art. If you're interested in that, check out this video right here. I explain step by step how you can sell your artwork in the best way. I'll see you in my next video.